America just fired two major shots, one across the Pacific and one right here at home. First, China tried to pull a massive 84% tariff increase. But old Trump, he knocked it out of the park. He didn't flinch. He hit back with 125% tariffs and flipped the global trade war in our favor. And second, the IRS just signed a data sharing deal with Homeland Security. And now ICE, they can use tax records to find millions of illegals hiding in plain sight. Two fronts, one president, and one message. America first, no exceptions. It's time to get down to lay down.
Hurry up.
Now, before we get into the receipts, drop a let's go in the comment section below if you're done watching our country get played. Hit that subscribe, please, and ring that bell, because this shows your antidote to mainstream brainwashing. And hit that like if you're riding with me, because the algorithm, it won't help push this unless we make some noise. So make some noise, people. Tear it up. In this next clip, China's massive mistake, upping their tariffs to 84%. Let me tell you what that really is. They ran straight downstairs and locked themselves in the panic room. China's economy is built like a counterfeit handbag. It looks strong until you stress it, and Trump, he just put pressure on it. They thought Trump would negotiate. Instead, he gave them consequences.
The trade war is on. Fox News alert here. China's finance ministry just announced it will increase its retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods to 84% beginning tomorrow. This is up from 34% previously imposed.
Maria, I think it's unfortunate that the Chinese actually don't want to come and negotiate because they are the worst offenders in the international trading system. They have the most imbalanced economy in the history of the modern world. And, I can tell you that this escalation is a loser for them. So, they can raise their tariffs, but so what?
In this next feed, Trump responds with 125% tariffs. Game on. You see, that's what the world forgot. This ain't poker. And Trump, he doesn't bluff. He doesn't beg for respect. He commands it. That wasn't just about tariffs. That was a checkmate moment. China made their move, and Trump made them regret it.
This was driven by the president's strategy. He and I had a long talk on Sunday, and this was his strategy all along. And that, you might even say that he goaded China into a bad position. They responded. They have shown themselves to the world to be the bad actors. And we are willing to cooperate with our allies and with our trading partners who did not retaliate. It wasn't a hard message. Don't retaliate. Things will turn out well.
If I could just add to what the secretary said, many of you in the media clearly missed the art of the deal. You clearly failed to see what President Trump is doing here. You tried to say that the rest of the world would be moved closer to China when in fact we've seen the opposite effect. The entire world is calling the United States of America, not China, because they need our markets, they need our consumers, and they need this president in the Oval Office to talk to them. And that's exactly why more than 75 countries have called, because the United States of America is the best place in the world to do business. And as the president has shown great courage, as the secretary has said, in choosing to retaliate against China even higher.
Remember what the media was shoveling to us? Trump's America First agenda would leave us isolated? Wrong again. Turns out, when America stands up to the bully, the rest of the schoolyard lines up behind us. They've got the most lopsided trade system in modern history. They control rare earth minerals, they steal American IP, they manipulate currency, and they use slave labor, literally. America's been footing the bill for decades. They're not an ally. They're not even a rival. They're a parasite, and now they've been exposed. Meanwhile, CNN and MSNBC are still out here talking about mean tweets. Trump's out here pulling the strings on the global market and exposing China's weak hand. I don't believe this is chaos. I think it's calculated dominance. In this next clip, Kevin O'Leary calls for 400% tariffs, and he's serious, people.
104% tariffs on China are not enough. I'm advocating 400%. I do business in China. They don't play by the rules. They've been in the WTO for decades. They have never abided by any of the rules they agreed to when they came in for decades.
Watch this next clip of IP theft and how China destroys American dreams.
They cheat, they steal IP. I can't litigate in their courts. They take product, technology, they steal it, they manufacture it, sell it back here. Never has an administration.
400% tariffs? What would that
I
look
want
like?
Xi on an airplane to Washington to level the playing field. It's just not about tariffs anymore. Nobody has taken on China yet, not the Europeans, no administration for decades. As someone who actually does business there, I've had enough. I speak for millions of Americans who have IP that have been stolen by the Chinese. I have nothing against the Chinese people. They brought great literacy, art, and tech to the world. The government cheats and steals, and finally, an administration, you may not like Trump, you may not like his style or his rhetoric, finally, an administration that puts up and says enough. 400% tariffs tomorrow morning.
Kevin O'Leary's not a politician. He's a business guy who's gotten burned. He's echoing what millions of entrepreneurs know. China steals your product, rebrands it, and floods the market. You want to build something in America? They'll undercut you and then sell you your own idea back to you on Amazon. This is personal to a lot of people. You spend years building a product. You file patents. You ship it off for manufacturing, and they clone it, copy it, flood the market, and then what? You're broke. That's what you call sabotage. President Trump is the first to fight back, and it's about time someone grabbed the mic. And people will argue, but Craig, it's going to cost consumers. Yeah, prices will probably go up short term, but you know what costs more? Losing 3.7 million jobs from 2001 to 2018 because we sold our soul to China. They took our factories, they took our communities, and they did it while smiling in our faces at the trade summits. In this next segment, another IRS chief resigns after signing a new agreement.
It says Melanie Krause, who had served as acting head since February, will step down over the new data sharing document signed Monday by Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. The agreement will allow ICE to submit names and addresses of immigrants inside the U.S. illegally to the IRS for cross-verification against tax records. And that is a new use of IRS data, which has always had a kind of confidential sanctity in the federal government.
Yeah, I think it's also, doesn't that make this the third director of the IRS since in less than 3 months since Trump has been sworn in? That's also very bad. I mean, Americans are all filing their taxes right now. Part of that is wanting to know that the IRS is competent and is going to treat us fairly, but it has always been the bargain with the U.S. government that we submit that information to the IRS specifically for the purpose of adjudicating our taxes and not for any other thing. And that's why people comply with tax law. This is a fundamental break here.
This story, it didn't get enough coverage. The IRS just opened the door for ICE to finally track illegals using their tax records. You heard that right. Millions of undocumented immigrants have been filing taxes, and now ICE can find them. The government just weaponized the paper trail, and now Democrats are livid. In this next feed, 7 million illegals are now trackable.
The reporting from CNN tonight is that in a recent video call, DHS officials told IRS officials they needed access to their data to help them locate up to 7 million suspected undocumented immigrants. It's an eye-popping figure that shocked IRS employees, according to a source with knowledge. I mean, Scott, we talked a lot about going after criminals. I don't think anybody disagrees with that. 7 million means that they're not just going after criminals.
Well, they're going after people who are in the country illegally, right?
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying the criminals, this is a much bigger universe than
Doesn't that make you a criminal?
No, it doesn't.
To come across the border illegally?
Coming into the country illegally is a civil offense. It's not a criminal offense.
Okay, if you come into the country illegally, here's the message. We're going to find you and send you back. I mean, I'm sorry, that's the way it is. And I think the government should pull all the levers at its disposal to find people and pull this off. It's what the American people asked Donald Trump to do. Yes, they should be deporting violent people. Yes, they should be deporting people who committed violent acts before they came here. But at some juncture, if you're going to allow any illegal immigration at all, the message then goes out. Just get here, it'll probably work out for you. That was the last administration. This is a different one.
Let me say this again. 7 million. These aren't just a few people trying to work hard. This is a massive illegal presence that's now fully trackable. And the party of open borders is panicking. These are the same people who wanted IRS snooping on your PayPal account over $600. But now when it's about illegals committing tax fraud, it's suddenly a privacy issue? No. What they're really scared of is losing control of their voter farm. This isn't just about taxes. We're talking Medicaid, public housing, school systems being overloaded, even voter registration in some states. And now the data connects all the dots, and they're busted. This is real talk. You'd be in prison if you did this. If you lied on your taxes, used a fake social security number, claimed government benefits under a false identity, where would you be? Behind bars, I'd imagine. But for years, illegals have gotten a free pass, but not anymore. Finally, the bureaucracy is doing something right. They're connecting the dots, using the data trail, and helping ICE do their job instead of sabotaging it. Trump laid the groundwork. Now the machine is moving, and the left is terrified. This week, 2 messages were sent loud and clear. To China, you're done robbing America blind. And to illegal immigrants, game over, you will be found. And to the media, you can whine, spin, and sob on the air, but guess what? America's waking up. I want to hear your take. It's your turn. Should the IRS and ICE be working together to track illegals through tax records? Should President Trump have gone even harder, 150, 250, or 400% tariffs on China? And what's your message to politicians who let this go on for more than 20 years? Light up those comments, hit that like, smash that bell, and share this. Thank you. God bless.
Listen.